Dear students, today I'm discussing one-dimensional wave equation and its solution. Like in previous lecture, we started introducing method of separation of variables for solving second order partial differential equation. So one-dimensional wave equation is an equation of that kind. Now I'm starting one-dimensional wave equation and then we will discuss its solution. That is the form of one-dimensional wave equation with y as dependent variable and t and x, time t and distance x as independent variable, whose solution is expected in this form: y equals to yxt, and c square is a constant which has to be positive. That's why square is mentioned over c, and it may be in any side, maybe in left hand side or in right hand side, with del 2y by del t square or with del 2y by del x square. Here it is taken with del 2y by del x square as a multiplier. Now for solving equation 2.1, means that one dimensional wave equation, we assume equation 2.2, that is dependent variable y equals to capital X into capital T. That is, we are trying to use method of separation of variable which I introduced in previous lecture. And in this case, capital X is taken as function of small x only, the first independent variable, and capital T is taken as function of small t, the other independent variable. And using that equation 2.2, those two partial derivatives of 2.1 are redefined as like del 2y by del t square. That is, we have to partially differentiate this equation with respect to t two times. Then capital X is to be treated as a constant, and it will be del 2 capital T by del small t square, which is similar to d2 capital T by d small t square, which is assumed as t capital T double dash capital T double dash. And similarly del 2y by del x square will be capital X double dash into capital T, and dash means first, double dash means second order ordinary derivative in these two cases. So by substituting these two expressions in equation 2.1, we get xt double dash equals to c square into x double dash t, which can be simplified as given below in equation 2.3, that is capital X double dash and capital X divided there equals to 1 upon c square on other side and t double dash upon capital T. Now that equation can hold easily if we assume both these sides of equation 2.3 are equals to a common constant, say k. So x double dash x upon x double dash upon x equals to k, and 1 upon c square t double dash upon t equals to k. If we simplify these two equations, finally two components of equation 2.4 are obtained in terms of two ordinary differential equation: x double dash minus kx equals to 0 from there, and t double dash minus kc square t equals to 0 as other component of equation 2.4. In next slide we will discuss probable solutions of two components of equation 2.4. Now that last step of previous slide, that is equation 2.4, is written again, and here for solving that equation 2.4 we talk over different possibilities with different values of k. First of all, we assume, say, k is positive and it is equals to small p, where p is some other real constant, so it is equals to p square. As it is positive, so it's a certain square, it's fine. Then what will happen? That equation reduces to x double dash minus p square capital X equals to 0. That means a second order linear differential equation with constant coefficient with 0 right hand side. So only CF will be the solution. So capital X is the dependent variable equals to CF, and as roots of auxiliary equation will be plus minus P, So its solution is capital X equals to C1 e power px plus C2 e power minus px. So that is that chapter of CF and PI is utilized here. And similarly with k equals to p square, it is p square c square means pc whole square. So roots of auxiliary equation will be plus minus pc. Using those roots, its solution with 0 right hand side means 0 pi, only cf, capital T is the dependent variable, so capital T is c3 e power cpt plus c4 as c1 c2 there, so c3 c4 are the further constant into e power minus cpt. So that is about one possible solution with values of capital X and T can be obtained with positive choice of small k. Next one is negative choice of small k. If k is negative of a perfect square, then it will be negative for the sure. So k equals to minus a square minus p square will make it x double dash plus p square x equals to 0, for which auxiliary equation will be m square plus p square equals to 0, means m equals to plus minus iota p. So CF will be C1 cos px plus C2 sin px, and with that choice k equals to minus p square there, it becomes plus p ski whole square into t equals to 0. That so auxiliary equation is m square plus pc whole square equals to 0, means m equals to plus minus iota pc. So CF will be given as C3 cos CPT plus C4 sin CPT, and PI is 0. So capital T dependent variable capital T equals to CF. So that is using chapter of CF and PI with only CF is required here because 0 right hand side means no PI is required. We obtained solutions of two cases A and B with negative choice in case B and positive choice in case A for constant k. Now third one, the easier choice, neither negative nor positive, that is if k is 0. If k is 0, then it is simple, x double dash equals to 0. So integrating it two times, we will get capital X equals to C1x plus C2, and if k is 0, then t double dash equals to 0 will provide capital T equals to C3t plus C4 by 2 times integration. So that is about values of capital X and T in three cases, and we know that solution was assumed as small y equals to capital X into capital T in equation 2.2. So using equation 2.2 solution of equation 2.1 with capital X and T as different choices in three cases, solutions are expected as for case A, y equals to capital X into T means C1 e power px plus C2 e power minus px into C3 e power cpt plus C4 e power minus cpt. Similarly, product of these two values of capital X and T, the solution is given in case B, and product of remaining last case X and T are multiplied together for solution of given wave equation in option C. So we have three possible solutions. Let us discuss what particular solution out of these three is more useful in comparison of others. As you can see, we have to choose the solution which is consistent with the physical nature of the problem. That is very important to discuss this physical nature of the problem. We are solving a wave problem, vibrational problem, and for which we need periodic function, and out of these three solutions, periodic functions are only observed in that second solution when k was taken as negative, that is minus p square, because cos and sine are periodic functions suitable for waves, that means suitable for wave equation. So that is about possibility of all solutions. If we attempt any problem practically, we should not express all these solutions. We must go for that part B only whenever we talk over one dimensional wave equation. Always assume that constant equals to some negative constant, or in any case the constant is to be assumed in a fashion such that the trigonometrical expressions are obtained in solution, means periodic functions are obtained in solution. So the best possible solution is obviously given as that solution of part B, y equals to c1 cos px plus c2 sin px into c3 cos px c3 cos cpt plus c4 sin cpt given in equation 2.5. Now the further requirement in this solution is to obtain the values of constant c1 c2 c3 c4 etc, and whenever we solve the problems we can evaluate these constants according to the given boundary conditions in the problem. In the next lecture, I will discuss a very important problem which is dependent of one dimensional wave equation. That means one dimensional wave equation will be created in that problem, and then we will solve that problem completely using the given boundary conditions of that